Another game, another giveaway. This time it's the Sacramento script hat being handed out the ballpark in West Sacramento. Sacramento Saturday continues against the Chicago White Sox here in Game 2 of this series. Hi again, everybody. Alongside Dallas Braden, I'm Chris Carey. DB, the man taking the ball for the A's today, Luis Severino, the ace of the club, hoping that he bounces back and has a great start here at home at the ballpark in West Sacramento.
And you hope that great start kind of gets this ship steered right back in the direction I think this club was heading, especially coming off the road in a great week in New York. And how do you do that? Well, in my pitcher brain, it's about putting forth a good start and a good start to that start. And that has been a bit of a struggle for Sevy. 11.25 ERA in the first inning. And we know that there's been some struggles here at home in 16 starts, 2-10 with an ERA just north of 6. But being the ace that he is, I think we look forward to Sevy being able to harness some of those struggles. And as I said, Chris, get these boys pointed back in the right direction.
A's looking for their 11th win of the season. Hopefully it comes today on Sacramento Saturday in a beautiful day at the ballpark. Everybody's got their hats, just hoping for a win. A's and Sox when we return. This has been a trend to start this season. Fans just continuing to flood into the ballpark in West Sacramento. It's because we've had some great giveaways. Look at that Sacramento script hat on a beautiful day in the 916 game time weather. It's brought to you by Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. 74 degrees and sunny. A perfect Saturday for baseball.
Well, it is a beautiful day at the ballpark, and I think it's a great day for Sevy to get these boys, as I said during the open, headed back in the right direction. Built a lot of momentum coming off the road trip. Would like to be able to tap into that here as we finish up at home.
This is a White Sox lineup that last night scored 9 runs off of 15 hits. Benintendi, Murakami, Vargas, Montgomery, Pereira, Antonacci, Maedra, Tristan Peters in there. And then the catcher, Reese McGuire, rounds out the order.
And it is that man right there in the bright gold jersey this afternoon. 5th start of the season for the ace, Luis Severino. We told you about the team success that they had on the road. Sevy last time out on the mound against the Rangers got through 6 innings, 4 earned runs allowed. I think we did see a bit of a reduction in some of those command issues that we had seen early from Sevy. Still 3 walks, but I think right now has a great opportunity against this lineup to get himself dialed in.
First pitch, right on time at 105. The pitch up against Benintendi, who had 3 hits last night in the 9-run effort for Chicago.
Well, Chris, nobody has seen it better or had more success against Sevy than Andrew Benintendi. 12 for 36, 10 RBI against Sevy.
We talked about Severino. How about the rest of the gold-clad Athletics on Sacramento Saturday? Soderstrom in left, Butler in center, Cortez in right. Muncy and Kurtz on the corners, Wilson and McNeil up the middle, and Austin Wynns gets the start behind the plate as Shea Langeliers will DH for Marcotte's club. Umpiring crew, Chad Whitson behind the plate, Bill Miller the crew chief at first, Brian Walsh at second, and Chad Fairchild at third. He called balls and strikes last night. A lot of ABS challenges last night against Chad Fairchild. Underneath it is McNeil. A fly ball to center. Butler will make the catch. 1 away.
You got to look at the whole crew. Let's take a deep dive on our man Chad Whitson. His father John is in the Ohio High School Hall of Fame for his work as an official, so you better mind your P's and Q's. It's in the DNA. Side-to-side strike zone has been overturned on 11 of 14 ABS challenges. So again, pitchers with lateral movement, you might have some second guesses there. So that'll be something to watch for. Pitches inside, outside, either side.
Munetaka Murakami had a whale of a game last night. 3 for 5 with a grand slam. His first career grand slam in the big leagues. Cleared the batter's eye.
Yeah, it was touched, to say the least.
Projected 431 feet. I think it might have gone further than that, DB.
I mean, that's sizable batter's eye out there that you got to clear. And that's how that home run leader list shakes out. Shea Langeliers and Murakami tied with Gunnar Henderson and Ben Rice. Mike Trout, I'm not sure he's stopped hitting home runs at this point.
One pitch to called strike. Well, Rice homered today, so I think he's just about now. He just homered. So these guys, left-handed hitters especially, are showing some power early, but Murakami, there's an expectation of power from him, and he has certainly flashed that early. 3-2 pitch, foul back.
Well, we'll show you this early and get it out of the way. I don't know that I want to continue to relive this, but it mattered. I mean, because this really put the ball game to bed. Just an absolute bomb.
3-2 pitch takes up, and a 1-out walk. Well, after last night's loss, there was a move made by the Athletics. Mason Barnett recalled from AAA. Elvis Alvarado, who gave up the grand slam, sent down to AAA Las Vegas.
Yeah, 2 rides handed out by Murakami last night. One to the baseball and one to Alvarado. Ride back to AAA. And it's unfortunate because I think we had seen Elvis at times, and you see the stuff. I mean, it's great stuff. 97, 100 miles an hour. I think a little more consistency with the slider.
Ground ball to third, chance for a double play. On to second, Neal to first, and a 5-4-3 double play is converted to end the first inning. No damage against the A's. Green and gold bats come up. No score, bottom of the first inning. Time to take a peek at the A's offense today on Sacramento Saturday. Jeff McNeil leads off. Then it's Langeliers in the DH role today. Kurtz, Soderstrom, Wilson, Cortez, Muncy, Butler, and Austin Wynns.
And it's going to be veteran right-hander Erick Fedde on the mound for the Chicago White Sox, who has had quite a tour around baseball throughout his career, Chris. This is a man who originally a first-round draft pick by the Washington Nationals back in 2014. Ran into some struggles, I think, at the latter point in his career here in the initial tour, as Jeff McNeil takes strike one. Found himself in Korea, and I think found himself in Korea, because this dude was absolutely lights out.
Neal grounds it to short. Montgomery to his right, throws to first, 1 away. Chicago's defense will look like this today. Antonacci in left, Peters in center, Pereira in right with Miguel Vargas and Colson Montgomery on the left side of the infield, Neidroth and Murakami on the right side, Reese McGuire behind the plate for Erick Fedde. Will Venable enjoying the win last night. White Sox scored 9 runs off of 15 hits, spraying it all over the field, and really, even though it was a 15-hit performance, there was no better performance in the game, I think, than Davis Martin's.
He was outstanding, to say the least. And I actually caught up with Davis today before the game, and I spoke to the skipper as well. And just talking to Davis, I said, brother, you have been slaying it. And he said, you know, it's funny how it can take you a while at times to realize you don't have to try to punch everybody out. There's a lot of value in being able to get quick outs, and that's how you find yourself deeper into these ball games.
Swing and a miss from Langeliers.
And last night, he was on his best behavior. I talked to him about the slider, and I also talked to him about that at bat against Denzel Clark. And the idea was, you know, and this is him speaking, he said, I've got a pretty good idea of, you know, when I want to use certain pitches, and I got a pretty good idea of how my stuff plays. And I said, yeah, I got a pretty good idea too. It must be a nice luxury to have when the pitch comp isn't working and you can just default to a 96-mile-an-hour bolt painted on the bottom rail, and you lock a hitter up. And he just kind of chuckled, and I said, and then you have the opportunity to start to really feel your way through your arsenal, and that slider, the way he was spinning it, I mean, for strikes, for swing and miss.
Kurtz underneath it, lifted a mile high in the sun. Vargas makes the catch, and a 1-2-3 inning for Fedde and the White Sox.
Fans, you can join us tomorrow, 1:05, as the A's take on these White Sox. You can be one of the first fans in the ballpark and score a Stomper plush hat. It's a perfect way to show team pride and rep your favorite mascot all season long. Lock in your seats right now at athletics.com/promotions.
That's driven to right. Forget it. Into the trees. Colson Montgomery wastes no time and puts the White Sox on the board with a solo home run, his 4th of the season.
And Colson Montgomery, Chris, had a little bit more success against left-handers this year than right-handers, but he jumps all over a cutter here from Sevy, inner third. I mean, that's just an A+ swing right there on a pitch early in the count. I'm not sure those folks up underneath the trees expected a souvenir.
Plenty of power. As we mentioned, 71 games last year, made his major league debut on July 4th. Still had a 21 homer season. Now Pereira will bloop this into right for a base hit. Cortes charging to get it. Pereira takes a turnaround first. Will head into second base. The throw is late, as Cortes seemed to throw on the run, possibly off of his back foot. Didn't have enough behind it to get him. And Pereira follows up the home run with a double.
Well, you got to give Pereira credit here. I mean, jammed on a sinker, just kind of fights it off over the head of Nick Kurtz, and you can see he's hustling, and that turn right there tells you it's a double on his mind, really, from the point of contact. Once he saw that thing start to bleed out there, he knew Cortes was going to have a tough time not only getting to the baseball, but being able to get a strong enough throw off at second to get him.
Here's Antonacci, who will swing away and foul it off. Pereira and Antonacci did not record hits last night. Pereira today, a quick double. But for Antonacci, just 10 at bats in the big leagues, 1 hit, and his major league debut on Wednesday. By trade, a middle infielder, learning the outfield position. They put him out in left field, AAA Charlotte, considering that there's not much of a need up the middle right now, considering Meidroth and Montgomery.
Well, I think we're seeing a little bit of the same on the Athletics roster as well, with the arrival of Zach Geloff and him spending time in the outfield. It's understanding this is how you can help not only this big league ball club specifically, but how you could probably help yourself be just that much more attractive.
1-2. Wins is able to hang on to the breaking ball. It was tipped into his glove, and Severino has his first strikeout.
I mean, that's just a nasty slider. Sweeps right under the hands of Antonacci.
Chase Meidroth on a 3-game hitting streak after a 2-for-4 night last night. Scored 2 of the team's 9 runs. Now he lays down a bunt. Sevy quick to get it. Bare hand. Loads up. Throws to first. Nice play by the A's starter. He pounced off that mound, Dallas.
Well, I think that's something that gets slept on at times, is how well Sevy can move. I mean, if you ever watch him throw over to first on a pickoff, you see he's got extremely quick feet. And he opts to go to the bare hand here. Sevy's got some sizable mitts, so he just gobbled up that baseball, made a strong throw over to first.
Tristan Peters is up, the center fielder of choice today for Will Venable.
Got to be able to defend yourself. And I think you can almost see Sevy's reaction. He saw the hands of Meidroth and knew, all right, I can get over. I can make that happen.
2 balls and no strikes. Peters went to SIU in Carbondale, Illinois, about 5 hours from Chicago. was a Saluki.
Really? What's a Saluki?
I think it's a dog of some kind.
Huh.
3 balls and no strikes. Severino lost him. Second walk issued by Luis, and it's Reese McGuire. McGuire's on a 3-game hitting streak. As the backup catcher of this club, you know, a big loss for the White Sox. The midpoint of spring training was Kyle Teel. Going down with injury. This is dumped into left, dropping fast, and it'll drop in front of Soderstrom. Coming in to score is Pereira, and it's 2-0. So a bloop single for Reese McGuire, and the White Sox offense continues in game 2.
Well, right now it just feels like it's tough luck for Sevy. Not taking anything away from Montgomery and the long ball that he hit, because he jumped all over a cutter inner third like he was looking for it. But the double from Pereira is just a pitch that he fights off. And now here kind of the same from McGuire. Ball not hit terribly hard at all. But again, the White Sox able to jump out to an early lead.
So it's Benintendi who flew out to center his last time up. And he's ahead at 2 balls and no strikes.
And I mentioned the familiarity with Benintendi and Severino. Those numbers for Benintendi, 12 for 36.
That's a high drive to right. Cortez back at the track, at the wall. It is gone. And Benintendi gets his first home run of the year. And it is 5-0 Chicago early. Wow.
Everything going right for the White Sox here at the beginning of the ball game. This is a 2-seamer that runs right back over the heart of the plate, and Benintendi put a great swing on it.
Murakami up the first base side, foul.
I mean, you see where this pitch is from an elevation standpoint, near the top of the strike zone, and Benny just leans back.
Called strike at the top of the zone, 0-2. Murakami enjoyed his first major league multi-hit effort last night on top of his first career grand slam, but he won't get anything there. The White Sox, however, score 5 runs in the second and lead 5. Bench your mobile provider for better coverage and bigger savings with Xfinity Mobile, and get Wi-Fi plus 5G that won't strike out. Xfinity, imagine that. River is flowing underneath the Tower Bridge.
Oh, it's moving. Just like this Chicago White Sox offense is moving, flowing nicely for the Pale Hose as of late.
Soderstrom against Fedde takes outside, 1 ball and no strikes. You were touching on Erick Fedde in Korea, kind of having to reinvent himself. Well, over the last 3 years, 3 different American players truly have done that and have been awarded with the Choi Dong-won Award.
Yeah.
In Korea, which is bestowed upon the standout starting pitcher across all of the KBO.
Well,
to a pitch called strike.
It's essentially the Cy Young, right? And not only do you go ahead and book the Cy Young for this guy, Erick Fedde, but the fact that he was MVP, the Triple Crown winner, I mean, the dude was on fire, Chris. On fire.
I mean, just think about these numbers. 20-6, an ERA of 2.
Soderstrom lines it to left. Antonacci, good read on the ball, makes the catch.
And I think you start to get a feel for his arsenal, which we'll take a look at here. StatCast powered by Google Cloud. It's a sweeper, it's a cutter, so those two headed in the same direction. And then it's a sinker and a changeup. Those two pitches headed in the same direction, opposite of the other two. So now you've got a cut fastball with velocity, and you've got that sweeping slider.
Wilson, high drive to deep left. Antonacci going back at the wall. It is gone. Wilson able to power it out to left, and the A's are on the board. 5-1. Jacob's second home run of the year, his 10th RBI. A's didn't have much power at all last night. Here in the second inning, that might be just what they need to jumpstart the offense in Game 2 of this series.
Well, they didn't have their first hit of the game, Chris, until the 4th inning of last night's affair. That's when one of the 2 runs they scored came. And I think to be able to answer back after a big outburst from the White Sox is a positive sign.
It's Carlos Cortez, who's at 273 and 33 at bats, but has gotten consistent run with Rooker being on the IL. So far has hit well during the day. Now small sample size, but 412 when the sun's out. Enjoyed a very nice series in New York against the Mets. Collected his first homer against New York.
Well, I think you saw Carlos Cortez take a long stare, knowing, yeah, I probably could have challenged that. Maybe waiting for a little better leverage situation. It looks like that's that cutter from Fedde, and Jay Willie clobbers it just out of the reach of Antonacci, who makes a good effort. Couldn't net it, though.
For Fedde, he came back stateside. White Sox signed him after the 2023 breakout season in the KBO. Then he was moved to the St. Louis Cardinals, and now he finds himself back with the Pale Hose.
Let's take another peek at the Jay Willie liftoff. I think you can tell the difference between Jacob Wilson when he wants to get big early in the count, as opposed to, I think, what we've typically seen from Jay Willie. This one here, though, given a ride, and that ain't coming back.
3-2. Cortez in the air to center. Peters going back, and this will die at the warning track for the second out.
To your point about Fedde, Chris, I mean, you spend time in the KBO, which probably a step or so behind the Nippon League, which we've talked about has closed the gap considerably from a talent perspective in baseball. And he parlayed that into an opportunity back here stateside and performed very well. And I'm looking at Max Muncy's setup right now. Looks like he's maybe just a little further spread out with the lower half. And I think at times we see guys do that. They make those little adjustments in an effort to maybe prevent a little bit of a drift.
He'll swing and a miss for Fedde there. But Jacob Wilson opens up the scoring for the A's. They're on the board with his second home run of the year. 5-1 Chicago.
Beautiful Saturday afternoon here in the ballpark. It's a West Sacramento Saturday. That's right.
You can see we've got a bit of an issue at second base, just digging out the peg there.
Well, they work on that. Let's hear a word from California Community College.
Get the money you need to reach your goals. At a California community college, financial aid is available year-round to help you cover tuition, books, supplies, and other basic needs like food and sometimes even the rent. Get started today at icangotocollege.com.
Well, oh, hey, it looks like there's some seepage. Getting awfully muddy and sloshy down there.
Some suspended animation for a moment.
You know, I'm surprised they didn't ask you. We showed in between innings. The Athletics have a schedule chock full of awesome giveaways. Again, today being West Sacramento Saturday. You got the West Sacramento script hat. And
I know where this is going. I don't like it.
Chris, you and I were.
Well, I like this.
What don't you like?
Or are you about to talk about them drawing Hello Kitty?
And I think right now what we're going to show you the script hats that all the fans got when they got to the ballpark today, which is awesome, frankly. Well done, job well done.
And this is a hat that if you went to like a Lids,
yeah,
you'd be spending $50, $60 easily.
And it got dropped on these folks when they arrived at the ballpark today, which is awesome. And again, you got the elephant on the side. I think it's a great matching item to rock with the gold Sacramento jerseys that were given away as well. So if you've come to the ballpark over the last couple homestands, I mean, you've already got your season uni locked in. Not to mention, there will be a basketball jersey given away later this season as well. So they're really loading your closet full of options to come to the ballpark here just through giveaways alone, which is a really cool deal. But Chris, back to the Hello Kitty thing.
Yeah, I'm really locked into this.
We had Stomper drawing Hello Kitty. We had the players drawing Hello Kitty. I think the fans at home would love to see your version of Hello Kitty. You don't have to show them the tattoo, but I mean, show them your version of what you would draw. I think the fans...
It was a stick and poke that I got in college, okay?
I think the fans would like to see that. So what we'll do for you fans is between innings, I'll get Chris on a timer. We'll have him whip up his version of Hello Kitty.
I'm not artistic in any sense of the word.
Oh, it's I mean, nobody's judging here, just me.
Yeah.
And everybody watching at home. But
I feel like it's going to be an absolute disgrace for the people who enjoy Hello Kitty if they see what I draw. You know, they're excited for this night. We've got so many different promotional theme nights. You got a Star Wars night, which I know you are all the way in on.
Oh yeah, all the way in on. Speaking of all the way in on, Sevy looks like he's heading in to the dugout. And look, I'm gonna say it. It's unfortunate that this is happening right now with Luis Severino on the mound specifically, because it's been documented that it has been a bit of a rough road for Sevy here at home. And it's things like these that when you are aware of the struggles that you've had in any particular place, it feels like this kind of stuff is always happening to you. And I know folks at home are saying, well, look, he's a professional. Like, can he get over it? Can he? And the answer is, sure, he's good at compartmentalizing these things, but he also, these are hurdles you just don't want to have to clear regularly.
Yeah, the problem was the plug that sticks in the hole got stuck. Dig it out. That was the problem.
Well, you know what? You hate when the plug's plugged. Just got to dig it out. I appreciate first base umpire and crew chief Bill Miller relaying that to the folks here in the ballpark and you folks at home. Communication is the key, Chris.
Hey, kept it simple, straight to the point. Something stuck in a hole. Get it out of the hole.
Get moving.
So 2 to Vargas, misses outside, 1-2. Vargas grounded into a 5-4-3 inning-ending double play, turned by Muncy in the first. Luis. Fastball almost looked like Wynn's challenge there.
He did. He almost got there, but there was no tap. There was no tap here. You can see Austin watching. Oh, you know what? Yeah, nope, not gonna do it.
2-2.
I think it was the right decision.
Well, we had a bit of a controversy last night. Early in the game, Edgar Quero tapped his helmet, tried to pull a fast one on McNeil. And McNeil looked back, saw him tap it, and home plate umpire Chad Fairchild didn't initially see it. And then as the umpiring crew convened together, they awarded, don't know if you want to, so you see Sevy saying no.
Yeah.
They awarded the challenge to Quero. It actually went by way of the Athletics, and the White Sox burned a challenge earlier than they had wanted to.
Yeah, I would say saddled Quero with the challenge. Not necessarily an award when it doesn't work out for you, right? I know what you're getting at.
Well, that's an award. She caught that souvenir with the hat. That pitch misses, and Severino with a walk.
Oh, how about that? On the carom. Yeah. He may have wore that right in the noggin.
Another thing about these Sacramento script hats is these bills on the hat, they're very sturdy. Dependable.
There, it's a quality lid.
Last you for a while.
It is a quality lid.
And it's absolutely no surprise that many fans are now sporting the hat, considering a nice sunny day at the ballpark.
Well, look, and I can thoroughly appreciate the involvement of the sponsors who provide a lot of different opportunity for us to do our job. But I think one of the things that you take away is, you know, it's just a good, clean design with Sacramento script across the front. You got the elephant on the side, and that's it. Not overstated. Just a good, clean look for the ballpark. Tell you who got a good, clean look. Montgomery got a good, clean look at a cutter in and quickly turned on it.
So first, Severino spent a lot of time waiting for the field maintenance to finally be completed at second base. How do you go back out there and try and, after a 5-run second inning, flush all of that, and then with all that time added, try and put together a good inning of work? As he got Montgomery on the foot.
Well, and you can hear Montgomery not terribly excited about having to sew that one on. That's why I use the word compartmentalization. You got to compartmentalize. As you see, Montgomery just going to wear that on the inside of his left leg, that shin area. But those are things that you just don't plan for. And that's why being somebody who can make adjustments is key. Sevy, not afraid to square you up. 16 hit batters last year, most in the big leagues. And I think that's a byproduct, not only one of Sevy and that big sweeper that he'll throw into the lefties, but also a sinker that can chase the right-handers in and off the plate. Well, look, I know Mikey Dalbum's got plenty of ice in the clubhouse after the ball game. I'm sure he'll get Montgomery a pack and he'll be fine.
So 2 on and nobody out. Inning started with a leadoff walk to Vargas. Then Montgomery was hit. on his back shin. Here's Pereira, who had a bloop double in the 5-run second inning. Ground ball to third. Muncy will take it to the bag. Throw to first. And we'll see what the rolling is here. They deemed it dead.
Well, it's got to be a foul ball right off the top of his foot. That's what Chad Whitson's communicating right now to Mark Kotsay.
He's just said double play, so I'm wondering if Pereira's out. Now Pereira is realizing he's out.
Well, nobody's out. It's a foul ball. Or it's a dead ball. Because you see it right off the toe.
But they're determining it right now as a double play. That's why Will Venable is now out discussing.
Well, they're going to have to figure this out. You and I can bark about it all we want up here, but Bill Miller and the rest of his crew are going to come together right now and try to clarify it. And I think what they're talking about is, you know, who had it fouled.
The call on the field was no foul ball. The result is a double play.
Oh, there you go.
So that is what Chad Whitson said to Mark Kotsay when Mark Kotsay questioned why it wasn't a double play.
And you can see, I mean, I didn't see a call. And that's why I was kind of wondering. And this is where they say, you know, they talk about not umpiring as a player. What does that mean? Well, you hit a ball, you don't hear anything. You're probably better served to just play it out and then wait for the call to determine the actual action. So we'll take a look at here. So there's no call here. And you see Whitson pull the mask, and that's just to kind of take survey of the field and of the play as it unfolds.
Antonacci was just hit second hit batter of the inning for Severino. He's at 50 pitches. That double play ball beneficial for him right now.
It looks like this one just skipped right off the top of the back foot there. Man, that may have been just a shoelace, if anything.
Meidroth laid down a sacrifice bunt last inning. Nice play from Severino. There's a good slider getting a swing and a miss. 0-2. Despite the 5 runs, Severino is still at just 52 pitches. You know, you say he wants to be around the 345 mark, but considering how the game has gone, he's hung in there. That's well outside with the slider.
And you've gotten a good look at what I was talking about with Sevy chasing the right-handers in with that sinker, and he's already drilled a couple left-handers with the breaking balls.
Works it again. And now Meidroth fouls it off of himself, and he's hobbling around.
Paleho's taking a bit of a beating here this half inning. Right off the instep. That doesn't feel great.
Meidroth does not sport a protective apparatus on his front left foot. He'll lift this into shallow right. In comes Cortez, and he makes the catch. So no further damage done against Severino in the third. Lawrence Butler leads off for the A's, down by 4.
Don't miss A's Cast Live, your go-to daily sports talk show hosted by the Wizard of A's Cast, Chris Townsend, and Commander Cody, streaming live 24 hours before every weekday evening home game and the A's YouTube channel at youtube.com/athletics and on A's Cast X at AthleticsCast24.
They've been doing work this homestand. Had a great interview with Andrew McCutchen last series on A's Cast Live. And now there's a bit of a pause by Reese McGuire. Might have gotten dirt in his eye. 1 ball and no strikes to Butler. Was in the 8th spot today. A spot where he saw action in only 5 games last year. Didn't hit much in the 8th spot in 2025. So 1-1 from Fedde, and it's high, 2 balls and a strike. We were talking about the KBO and how American players can go there, revitalize their careers, sometimes in the pitching variety. Fedde is a name. Cody Ponce is the most recent name, the standout pitcher for the Hanwha Eagles. He was rewarded with his efforts with a big $30 million major league contract with the Blue Jays. 3-1, Butler takes high. The last 3 players to win that KBO Cy Young, Dallas, are all American. 2023 it was this man, Eric Fedde, then Kyle Hart in 2024. He's now with the San Diego Padres, and of course Cody Ponce, who is with the Blue Jays but is injured. What about Korea not only makes it an attractive place to go, but what do they do over there to help these guys figure it out?
Well, I think it's probably more of...
Butler breaks for second, throw down off the bag, and Butler easily steals second base.
Yeah, that wasn't even close. Law Dog with a great jump, great read. And there was no shot for McGuire. But again, I think, you know, and this isn't a knock on the league or its players, but I think there's just there's a separation in overall talent. And if you're somebody who has not only been in the big leagues before, but you've been in the big leagues and had success, albeit maybe limited to an extent, but you go over there with an arsenal and the ability to kind of step on the gas pedal with the fastball, maybe with more consistency than they're typically seeing. I think there's also an element of hunger and desire, almost one of those intangible factors.
2-1 breaking ball off the end of the bat to third. Montgomery thought about going that way, but instead goes to first. 1 away, wins, moves Butler up 90 feet.
Well, I think Lawrence Butler made a decision very quickly to get over to third. Take a listen to this, though. And the problem was that Vargas was just not going to be able to get to Lawrence Butler. He's going to have to catch that ball on the run, which at best was going to lead him more towards the middle of the infield if it was a throw that was going to, quote, lead him to the bag. And at that point, your momentum has to shift directions. Lawrence Butler, a very heady base runner, is going to end up going into a slide, probably more of a slide towards the infield side of third base. Hit the bag with his right hand out of the reach of Vargas. So it's an aggressive play by Lawrence Butler, but one that paid off here, because now you've got Jeff McNeil, who we've talked about Benintendi and his success against Severino. Jeff McNeil, on the flip side, has seen Fedde very well.
2-0 in the air to right center. In comes Pereira. He's underneath, makes the catch. Butler's going to tag. The throw to the plate is high and late. So McNeil does his job, a sacrifice fly. Butler remaining aggressive on the base paths, and the A's have their second run, now 5-2.
Yeah, it was a good opportunity for Pereira to make a play. He makes a strong throw, just ends up sailing it. But you can see Lawrence Butler timed it up well, back to the bag in plenty of time. And Pereira just airmails it all the way to Fedde, who's backing up. And that's where the aggressiveness from Lawrence Butler on the base path pays off.
Langeliers struck out his last time up. He's riding a 3-game hitting streak.
No, but just to kind of put a bow on the question about the KBO, I think, you know, that motivation factor to get back to a place where you ultimately want to be, which is stateside, friends and family. It's the big leagues. And you're able to take advantage of an environment in which I think is conducive to really exploring who you are and allowing you to evolve in a very, what is still competitive environment, but one you feel like you're going to be able to adapt to sooner rather than later. And I think on the other side of some of those, you know, experimental approaches, you're able to pin down an arsenal you're comfortable with. And maybe you've worked on a few things from a mechanical standpoint, a preparation standpoint, and now you're ready to pack it up and head back to the United States and earn yourself a job.
9 away, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kurtz waiting on deck. 3-2. Shea's fighting.
Well, this high roller is brought to you by Circa Resort and Casino. Coming into today's ballgame, Shea Langeliers, 24 hits. That's 5th best in the American League. 6 homers, 4 doubles, and 75 at bats for the backstop. Off to a hot start. And able to work a walk here, extend the inning with 2 outs, and that'll bring up the big fella, Nick Kurtz.
Well, it's impressive about those 24 hits to start the year. A quarter of them are home runs.
Well, and the ability to put the bat on the ball consistently is going to lead to not just one, but a couple few knocks a ball game. And Shea Langeliers, 9 multi-hit games this season, tied with a few guys. You see Brandon Nimmo, who we just got to look at, Andy Pages, who is just on another planet right now for the Dodgers.
Dodgers also adding even more power, finally calling up Ryan Ward, the 27-year-old outfielder who's seemed to have 30 homer season after 30 homer season. The minor leagues at AAA will get his chance with the big league club after not breaking camp with the team out of spring training.
Well, good for the Dodgers finding some talent, huh? They've been in the search for that.
To Kurtz, line the other way, foul. The A's have been fearsome with 2 outs this year. Scored quite a few runs with 2 outs in the Houston series at home. Fedde from the stretch, the 1-1. Kurtz takes outside.
I think the patience that we have seen from Kurtz has not only kind of kept him in the, and when I say in the ball game, I mean just has kept him within his approach. I think at times when guys struggle out of the gate, you send out a search party trying to figure out how you can fix things. Sometimes you watch younger players make wholesale adjustments as he works another walk here. That is now 9 straight games with a walk. That's the longest by an athletic player since my old teammate Jack Cust. Back in 08, Custy put the peepers on him. Custy, another power-hitting left-hander.
And this is something that you're so happy to see, Dallas. Remember, at the start of the season, the A's had 50 strikeouts through 3 games. Now they're not striking out as much. They're walking at a very high rate. Now it's about cashing in on these opportunities. First pitch, ground ball up the middle. Meidroth charges, throws across his body, and Soderstrom grounds out to end the inning. But the A's get another run thanks to a sacrifice fly by McNeil. It's 5-2. This upcoming schedule is brought to you by Service Champions. Take a glance at the next 2 weeks. A lot of the American League, starting with the road trip Seattle and Texas against the in-division opponents. Then it's an AL Central battle between Kansas City and Cleveland, following them up here at the ballpark in West Sacramento.
Oh. I mean, I probably need to have another meal first, but that ice cream looked pretty good.
When are your cheat days? I don't know if it's once a week exactly, but is it today?
Well, I can tell you my wife not terribly excited that I was allotted more than one cheat day now that I'm traveling on the road. You know, sometimes schedules fluctuate and it's a little tougher to get the proper amount of nutrients in. So, but yeah, I mean, I'd like to think my cheat days end in Y now.
Well, that's not true.
Look at Saturday. I think Saturday's a good day to call it a cheat day.
Sure.
Yeah.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Tristan Peters, who walked and later scored 2 innings ago. He won't time that one up. Strikeout for Severino. Good start for him in the 4th.
Sevy reaching back and grabbing 97. Gassed up at the top of the strike zone.
Is sound effect included, or you get an invoice for that too?
I provided that.
Reese McGuire had a bloop single, extending his hitting streak to 4 games. At that point, made it a 2-0 White Sox advantage. Ground this to first. Kurtz will take it himself. 2 gone. Well, after a 23-pitch 3rd inning, it's exactly what Luis Severino needs. A quick one here at 63 pitches, and you start to see him bounce back. You know, after his last start against Texas, it was kind of the same way. It was a little bit arduous to begin the game, but he found a way to scratch across 6 innings of work. Just 4 runs against him in a ballpark that can play more favorable to the offense at times. This may be another scenario like that, Dallas.
Well, you take pride in being able to gut out an outing and just, you know, give your team a good 6.
Driven to right. Cortez reads it on the run and makes the catch. 9-pitch 4th. Exactly what the doctor ordered for Severino. Back to the A's bats. They're down 3.
Back, this powerful performance is brought to you by Xfinity. Jay Willie broke out the whooping stick. Putting one into the netting. That's how the A's opened up their scoring. Solo shot by Jacob Wilson back in the 2nd. Jay Willie's going to lead things off now here in the 4th. A's down by 3, trying to muster some offense against a man in Erick Fedde who I think has started to settle in a bit. We saw some free passes last half inning. It was Butler who led off with a walk, but eventually come around and score after stealing 2nd. An aggressive play getting him over to 3rd.
He'll dump this into center. Another hit for Wilson. We're just talking about multi-hit efforts. Wilson was creeping his way close to that top of the list in Major League Baseball. Now he adds another multi-hit game to his effort.
And we were also talking about the different types of swings, like Jacob Wilson, understanding where that pitch is hit. It's not something that he's going to be able to open up on and try to lift, but in the moment, he's able to open up, get the barrel through the zone, and put a really good swing on a pitch that I think for a lot of other folks probably ties you up, maybe even ends up breaking your bat.
Here's Cortez, chopper up the middle, long way to go for Montgomery on the run. Low throw dug out by Murakami with his backhand. Cortez grounds out, 1 away, but Wilson advances to 2nd. Here comes Muncy.
Well, not a bad play here by Colson Montgomery when you think about it. You're going to watch this ball kind of pop up on him. And you see the quick reaction. Murakami just picks up the short hop. That'll get Wilson over to 2nd base here with 1 out. And again, back to Max Muncy. We saw, I kind of pointed out, maybe an adjustment.
That'll go all the way to the backstop, and Wilson read it perfectly into 3rd base, advancing 90 feet. White Sox capitalized on a few, I don't want to call them mental mistakes, but more physical mistakes by the A's last night. Maybe it's time for the A's to do so here. Brought home a run last inning after Butler led off the inning with a walk. Being aggressive here in the middle part of this game. 1-0 to Muncy. Swings and misses.
Well, and Will Venable opting to bring the defense in right now.
So in this situation, is Bobby Crosby telling Wilson to run on contact? Are they in that contact zone right now?
Well, that's the conversation that they're having here is, hey, with this defense in, you might be better served understanding that we're playing behind. If you can, you want to see this ball through the infield. And something that you do have to factor in is who your runner is. And, you know, we've talked a lot about Jacob Wilson making progress on the defensive side of the baseball with that quick first step. Jacob Wilson still not one of the top speed guys on the team. And I think with the opportunities kind of being maybe fewer and farther between to score runs here as of late, that's something that they're ironing out right now.
They're very quick-footed up the middle are the White Sox. In Meidroth and Montgomery. 2-2 to Muncy. He swings and misses on a sweeper. 2 strikeouts for Max. Third of the day for Fedde.
Well, and it's a missed opportunity, no doubt. One that we have seen the White Sox be able to turn into run support, and unfortunately the Athletics not able to cash that same chip.
It's up to Butler. Swings and is underneath it to center. Peters calling off Antonacci and making the catch. A's come up empty-handed in the 4th. Still down 3.
A's fans, this is the way to start your week. You can be one of the first to the gates on Tuesday, May 12th for a matchup with the Cardinals and score the exclusive Star Wars Grogu giveaway from a galaxy, well, not so far away. Get your tickets today at athletics.com/promotions.
You want good notes or bad notes on that one?
I don't know that there are bad notes to give.
Grogu, pronounced perfectly.
It nailed that.
This is the way. I don't think you could have butchered it worse.
Really? I'm pretty sure I read the words.
This is the way.
Yeah, I said that.
It's the way of the Mandalorian. No, never mind. It's going to be a fun time. Star Wars fans are going to be here. Should really look into it. It's a great universe.
Yeah, and I'll be camped out overnight waiting to be the first one in line.
Little ones will like a Grogu bobblehead for sure.
Yeah.
Or a giveaway, excuse me.
Oh.
Two balls and 2 strikes.
I mean, isn't he called the Child? Isn't that what he's called?
He is the Child.
Yeah. See, knew that. Pretty much an aficionado at this point.
An immense power of the Force, and comes from the same species as Yoda. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Murakami. He fouls it away. Five to 2 the score. Severino at 72 pitches, 3-2, wins unable to hang on as Murakami gets a piece.
We saw a good battle last night between Davis Martin and Nick Kurtz. 13-pitch affair. Ooh, right off the back knee.
They just continue to wear bruises. The White Sox have found quite a few off themselves. There's been a few hit by pitches.
Watch that back left knee here. Right off. Ooh.
What feels worse, off the cap of the knee or the side of the knee?
I mean, I would tend to think right off the cap.
3-2. Murakami works the leadoff walk. So Severino has walked a few hitters in this game. It's his 4th walk of the game.
Well, it's 4 walks, a couple hit batsmen. And the good news is only one of those walks is scored. I think the bad news is, you know, what comes with those free passes is the increase in pitch count. But again, Sevy, all things considered, here at 77 pitches, an opportunity to get a 2-ball.
Oh, he stabs it with his glove, turns quickly to second, on to first. What a play by Severino. He has been so quick off the mound, and he gets a 1-4-3 double play.
Well, I told you the dude was an athlete. And he shows it right there. Athlete. Go to work, Sevy. Coming into the ball game, Vargas had tapped into a couple double plays. He's doubled that here today. That's the 2nd double play he's hit into.
Montgomery swinging for the fences. He's 1 for 1 with a homer. He bruised a baseball, and then he was bruised by a baseball. An inning later in the 3rd, hitting his back left shin, stayed in the game. Ground ball to first by the line. Kurtz with his backhand runs over and will take it himself. Another quick inning for Severino. Still 5-2 White Sox. This summer, FIFA World Cup 2026 lights up the United States, Mexico, and Canada. Experience every goal, every celebration exclusively in Spanish on Telemundo and Peacock. 5-2 the score here. The A's down by 3. World Cup going to be a lot of fun. An expanded pool of teams this year playing in North America.
I mean, how do you expand beyond the world? Feels like everybody's... It's the world.
I believe it's 48 teams now playing in the World Cup.
Gotcha.
Four-pitch walk. That's the start. The A's want with Wins turning it over the top of the lineup. Fedde has 4 walks now.
Well, I started to touch on the success that McNeil has had against Fedde. McNeil coming into the ballgame, the only A's player that has even faced Erick Fedde. Coming into today, 7 for 18, 3 walks against him.
Two balls and no strikes.
And even though Erick Fedde at 67 pitches right now, looks like Will Venable starting to get old friend Sean Newcomb cranking. And I think that probably has to do with not only the pocket of lefties coming up here, but the fact that Sean Newcomb's a guy that can give you multiple innings worth of quality work out of the bullpen. And with 5 left-handers in this lineup, that would force Mark Kotsay to have to start to make some decisions on some potential matchups.
7 straight balls from Fedde to start off the bottom of the 5th. Well, if McNeil reaches, the tying run coming to the plate. Wonder if the lefty Newcomb is for Kurtz, waiting in the hole.
The big fella looming.
Three and one. Swept foul. Another great crowd today. 11,131 here. Hat giveaway. We've had a lot of great giveaways, great crowds. The energy has been there. Like you said, now if you've come to the every giveaway day, you have your whole uniform set for the rest of the season. 3-2 runner going. McNeil into right. It's dropping fast and caught by Pereira. Hustling back into first is Wins, diving in safely. But a nice play by the right fielder of the White Sox for the first out.
And you got to give credit to Austin Wins here. Jeff McNeil, as I told you, seen the ball well off Fedde the entire time they faced each other. But you got Pereira going into a dive to make this play. And Austin Wins on a sinking liner is kind of forced to make a decision. Do I want to stay where I'm at here in my travels towards second because he was off with the pitch? And this is kind of what I'm getting at. He knows the ball's hit. All right, what am I going to do? This ball is sinking. If it's down, I might have an opportunity to get over to third base. But in the event that Pereira comes up with the play, I got to get back to first, and he did so just in time. This meeting on the mound brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price. Giving Fedde a little time to slow things down. I think also buying Sean Newcomb just a few more warm-up tosses in that bullpen. And it'll be interesting to see what they decide to do here. Again, Fedde just hit 71 pitches.
We saw Sean Newcomb come in a variety of different roles during his time with the A's. That second half of the season last year where the A's had a lot of success, Sean Newcomb had a very big part in that.
He was a weapon. I don't think there's any question about it. Fedde been up as high as 86 pitches. That was in the game against the Orioles.
One underneath it, hit high in the air to right. Pereira coming in, and he makes the catch. 2 gone. Here comes Will Venable.
Yep.
The skipper's going to make a change for the White Sox. 5-2 with a runner on first, 2 away. Enter the former A, Sean Newcomb. To you by Law Tigers, Northern California's motorcycle lawyers at lawtigers.com. 5-2 the score here, bottom of the 5th inning. The White Sox have elected to go to a pitching change, and they call upon the former Athletic Sean Newcomb, who had some brilliant moments in the green and gold during his time with the A's.
He sure did. 16 different times did Sean Newcomb come out and get you 4 outs or more. We've seen Nuke go as deep as 3 1/3 out of the bullpen for the Athletics. Just a dynamic weapon to have. Remember a guy who had starting pedigree. His time with the Atlanta Braves. There's a line for Erick Fedde. 4 2/3, 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned. 4 walks, which helped run that pitch count up. A few punch outs.
It's him against Kurtz. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. Wins will stop at second. And Kurtz didn't waste any time picking up a hit. His 14th hit of the month.
Sean Newcomb has a fastball with some arm side run to it, trying to go away. That ball just creeps back over the plate.
This is a player in Newcomb that started the year last year with Boston, then found himself back on the A's, went 2-1 with a 1.75 ERA in 36 appearances. We knew that slurve all too well. Gets a swing and a miss from his former teammate Tyler Soderstrom, who's 0 for 2. He was really good on the road last year, sub-2 ERA away from Fenway Park in the ballpark in West Sacramento. Left-handers hit .226 against him last year. Little blooper, shallow left center, and it's down for a hit. Wins was running on contact. He will score, and an RBI single for Soderstrom makes it a 5-3 game now.
Athletics able to keep that line moving here with 2 outs against a tough left-hander. And it's 2 lefties back-to-back. The very reason that Will Venable went and got Sean Newcomb and plugged him into this ball game was to try to take care of this pocket here with Kurtz and Soderstrom. And those 2 lefties flipped the script, both finding their one on base via knock. Kurtz going first to third. Wins able to come around and score. The A's slowly but surely closing the gap here against the Pale Hose.
So Wilson, who's 2 for 2 with a homer and a single, is up again with Kurtz on third. First pitch strike, 0-1. Soderstrom on first. Right side of the infield is open. Should Wilson shoot it that way? And slurve didn't break. Again, outside 2-1. Count leverage for Wilson.
Well, we've seen Newcomb have a tough time right now driving that fastball into the righties or away to the lefties. See if Jacob Wilson doesn't get a pitch that stays outer third. He's able to poke it through that hole over there. I think you'll likely see Soderstrom be able to go from first to third. Obviously, Nick Kurtz would score, and we keep this line moving.
Again, more 2-out hitting, Dallas. 2-1. Lifted in the air to right center. Peters moves over, and he will have room to make the catch. But the A's scratch across another run, bring it a little closer. 5-3 White Sox. .5-3 the score here in the 6th. Well, some have the Sacramento script hats, some have more bucket hats, some have other A's hats. Shade themselves from the sun, but it's been a comfortable day. It's not like the sun is beating down today.
Sunshine on your shoulder.
Everson Pereira to lead off the inning. The A's got another run. 5-3. Working their way back into the Severino at 83 pitches. You'd think the hope is for him to finish 6 innings. But there is going to be activity in the bullpen. Hogan Harris starting to warm.
The White Sox, 6 left-handers in their lineup this afternoon.
Looper, shallow left center, dropping fast. Soderstrom dives. It's in and out of his glove. And Pereira was running out of the box for 2. He has his second bloop double of the game.
Yeah, two doubles and really not a barrel between them. But placed perfectly in between the trio of defenders. Sodi just couldn't quite get to it. He had to run a long way for it.
Antonacci shows bunt. Corners crash in. He pulls back. It's low.
The catcher is challenging the ball call.
Wins will challenge.
I'm not sure when he's going to like this. Yeah.
The call is confirmed. The Athletics have 1 challenge remaining.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. So the Athletics on challenges. Successful on 28 of 51 now. They were at a 56% successful challenge rate entering play today, 28 of 50. But they lose their first one in the 6th. LDB, 3 of the last 4 innings have started off with a leadoff base runner for the White Sox. They have not scored in those innings, however. All of their offense came in a big second inning. 5 runs off of 4 hits that inning, including a pair of home runs from Montgomery and Benintendi.
Well, in the 4th inning, really the only clean inning for Sevy. And what that tells you is outside of that 2nd inning, he's been able to do a pretty decent job of navigating with some traffic on the bases. And not an ideal situation, but what that tells you is Sevy's been able to bear down and make some pitches.
Into center. Butler shifts his hips, makes the catch, and Pereira will not tag. A strong throw back in. 1 is away with Meidroth coming up.
Number 10, Chase Meidroth.
Severino now at 91 pitches.
Well, this very well may be the last batter that Severino faces, as you've got Peters and McGuire behind him, then Benintendi and Murakami. So that's a 4 lefty pocket there for Mark Kotsay to be able to go to Hogan Harris, and not to say that Will Venable doesn't answer with some moves of his own. Remember, you've got McGuire, who's catching today. You've got Quero on the bench, switch hitter. That could very well be an option should it get to that point.
Two and one.
But we also know that Hogan Harris at times has had a little more success against right-handers than he has left-handers.
Three balls and a strike.
And I think that's something that if you're a manager and you only have to really game plan for one left-hander coming out of a bullpen, are you concerned with stacking your lefties if the one lefty out of the bullpen isn't as dominant against left-handers as I think typically you see lefties? And so it's almost like you're challenging the other manager to force him and make those decisions. You know, if you're Will Venable, you might be saying, hey, you know what, I think I feel okay about how the left-handers are going to compete against your lefty.
3-2, ground ball to short. Wilson with his backhand goes to third. Muncie's tag is not in time. Pereira slides in safely. Mark Kotsay's hand is raised up in the dugout.
Well, this is exactly what I was talking about with the play for Lawrence Butler early in the ball game. Jacob Wilson fully committed to the play. Backhand, makes a strong throw. Max Muncy trying to get back to the bag.
Challenging the safe call at third base.
And may have gotten the tag on the helmet down just in time. We'll take a look. This is what you're looking for. The tag on the helmet and the contact with the bag with the left foot of Pereira. I think this will be a good shot here. And it looks like that left foot may have been down, but then you also have to consider that moment in time where the left foot comes off the bag and a brief moment where there could be no contact between Pereira and the bag. And at that point in time, the tag is applied, and then the knee for Pereira comes through the right leg and catches the bag.
Umpires need clear and conclusive evidence to overturn. This is very close play, Dallas. Another thing to consider, Muncy didn't hold the tag.
Well, and it has to, the reason, Chris, is because it's going to have to be a swipe tag in this moment, just trying to get the tag down. And to my point earlier in the Butler play, where even if you make a throw that leads him, you have one or two decisions to make as the third baseman, in this case Muncy. Do I continue my path to the bag, where I'm going to have to slow up to make sure that I catch the ball and still turn and make the tag? And remember, the initial call on the field is safe. To your point, Chris, you're going to have to really be convinced based on the evidence you're looking at. But something that you note here was Pereira sold out. He was headed to third, no hesitation.
Would have been a tough play too. Wilson in the hole with his backhand.
After review, the call on the field stands. The runner is safe. The Athletics will lose their challenge.
I was going to say it would have been a tough play to get the speedy Maedrov at first.
Well, Mark Kotsay has made the call to the bullpen. It'll be left-hander Hogan Harris on now. Sevy frustrated, understandably so. I think he wanted an opportunity to pitch his way out of this, but with the pitch count where it was, you can understand the decision. Mark Kotsay gonna go get his left-handed matchup.
Runners on the corners, one out. Severino is finished. For the moment, 5 1/3, 5 hits, 5 earned, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. Is responsible for the runners on first and third. Hogan Harris will enter the game with a bit of traffic.
And Hogan Harris, 12th appearance for the Southpaw. 2.38 ERA.
Hill lays down a bunt. Kurtz gets it, flips with his glove. Now they got a rundown with Pereira. Muncy will flip down to Harris. There's some traffic. Harris applies the tag. Runners move to second and third, but they do get the lead runner. What a play by Kurtz with his glove. Did not have time to transfer it into his throwing hand. But a long, traffic-filled rundown finally gets the second out.
Well, Kurtzy, with his momentum coming across, this is not an easy flip. With his momentum taking him into the third base dugout, has to flip it across, and now wisely Hogan Harris just going to put the ball in his glove. But how about this? I mean, what can happen at times is that ball ends up getting shot up and out a little higher, and it could be an errant toss that never finds its intended recipient. Run scores. Both runners on the base path move up. Nobody out. That's just a great job by Nick Kurtz, who once again is showing his defensive prowess.
Wire got hit, and he's jawing at Hogan Harris. Fastball up and in. They're still talking. Severino came out of the dugout for a second.
I mean, just off the elbow here, you'll see McGuire's reaction.
Designated hitter number 23, Andrew Benintendi.
Well, I can understand McGuire being frustrated, but if he thinks that Hogan Harris is drilling him intentionally, he probably ought to reevaluate that. Severino, I think, obviously frustrated with the outing, saying, hey, you know what, come on, you got something to say. Come on, let's talk about it.
2 balls and no strikes. Now Wins is going to challenge here on a
The
pitch
catcher
outside.
challenging the ball call.
Well, I don't think Winnie's going to like this one either here. That ball looked away. Yeah.
The call is confirmed. The Athletics are out of challenges.
ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. A's are out of challenges. Now 2-0 to Benintendi. 3 balls and no strikes. Benintendi already has a 3-run home run in this game. This is his first home run of the season. That fastball will do for a called strike. 3-1.
Well, big pitch here. Benintendi can get big looking for one pitch in one spot.
Spins it back near us, right above the broadcast booth. I mean, it was a matter of about 2 feet. If you jumped, you would have caught that. 3-2. Every runner in motion. Payoff pitch. Popped up. Very high. But it will go into the stands.
But I feel like there's some momentum to be grabbed here on either side. Athletics able to get out of this half inning here. I think we'll see some fireworks.
Next 3-2 from Harris. Ground ball to second base. McNeil's got it. And they get out of the inning unscathed. Hogan Harris, cool, calm, and collected. 5-3 the score. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th. Get your Northern California news in Spanish. Weekends on Telemundo. From the latest in weather to updates on what's happening in your community. Join Telemundo every weekend to stay connected en Espanol. Andy Ibanez will swing on the first pitch to right center. Moving back is Pereira, and he'll make the catch. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Newcomb in the bottom of the 6th inning. Derek Hill is in center after pinch hitting last inning. Muncy, a drive to right. Pereira going back, still going, leaping try. It is off the wall. Muncy's going to take a turnaround second and head for third, getting there easily with a 1-out triple.
I was talking about how Max Muncy had kind of spread out, and you noticed it in his first plate appearance. Hadn't had much to show for the adjustment until now, and he absolutely pounds one backside off the wall. And with the effort from Pereira, a leaping effort, by the time he was able to come down and track the ball down, Max Muncy well on his way to third base with a stand-up triple with 1 out, and the Athletics threatening again.
Butler swings on the first pitch, fouling it back, 0-1.
And Chris, you could just feel the momentum shift, I think. After that inning, you're able to get out of it. You've had some emotional exchanges. And now an opportunity to close the gap, try to grab that lead back.
Strike called to Butler. Remember, Dallas, the A's have no challenges remaining in this game. So they cannot challenge Chad Whitson's decisions. White Sox still have 2 in their back pocket. Weekly grounded back to the pitcher. To the plate. No, he won't get there. Coming in to score, Muncy. Newcomb had to make a split-second decision. Everybody ends up safe. It's a 1-run game.
And there was no way that Sean Newcomb was going to be able to do what we saw Nick Kurtz do and use the glove to get the ball home to Reese McGuire. Instead, tried to make a quick exchange.
And that's where the Fumblerooski comes in. Can't get it. He's going to try to make a throw on the run, which would have been very difficult from that angle. That's a throw across his body. You're going to have to short arm that throw. I mean, that had disaster written all over it from the beginning, and the A's able to capitalize. Here you go. See, there's no way that he's going to be able to use the glove to toss it, but you can see that hand get caught up on the top of the glove of Sean Newcomb.
So a one-run game. High and away, 2 balls and no strikes. You have the top of the order waiting on deck in Jeff McNeil. Jordan Leisure will start to warm up for Chicago.
Well, Sean Newcomb has taken that pitch clock down to about 4 seconds.
To wins. In the air to right. Pereira moving over and making the catch. So 2 down. White Sox have 5 runs off of 5 hits. The A's 4 runs off of 5 hits. A's have scored a run in each of the last 2 innings. And from the second inning on, the only inning that did not yield a run for the A's was the 4th. So they have capitalized on base runners for the most part. Butler's going to break for second. Throw down to second is late. And Butler has a second stolen base today.
And again, Lawrence just doing a wonderful job of timing up the delivery of Sean Newcomb. And I think as a pitcher, when you start to fall into patterns, and that's a way that I think you can create a margin for yourself on the base path, is taking note of where the pitcher likes to deliver the ball time-wise.
Ooh, that went behind McNeil.
Well, look, the slider from Sean Newcomb, that breaking ball, has been missing arm side all afternoon long. And this one just spits even further out of the hand. Neal.
In the air to left, Antonacci will make the catch, and that will retire the side. But Muncy triples, and then Butler brings him home. It's a 1-run game.
Score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got the whole season covered. Visit MLBshop.com/athletics, the official source for your athletics gear.
1-run game, Dallas. 5-4. Denzel Clark will patrol center field. Butler bumps to right now. And Lawrence manufactured the 4th run. It was a tapper back to the pitcher Newcomb that was unable to transfer out of his glove quickly enough to get Muncy at the plate. Muncy was running on contact, and we've got a tight one here.
What felt like the Athletics were able to do exactly what they needed to do after what I pointed out and called an emotional exchange. You're able to get out of that inning unscathed, and then you get the boys back in the dugout. They're able to put a run up, and you want to ride a little momentum now.
2-2 from Hogan Harris. To center. Moving back, Clark fighting the sun at the wall. It is gone. And Murakami hammers it out of the ballpark. His second homer of the series. 6-4.
Well, he came built with plenty of power, and I think we have seen that on display here in the first 2 games of this series. And even if you hit it over the wall, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be out of the reach of Denzel Clark. Denzel not able to get to that one. Coming into today, Murakami, Chris, just 1 for 16 against left-handers.
Entering play, his 6th home run last night. Now he has 7. That 6th home run was the most in Major League history by a Japanese-born player in his first 20 career games. And to add to that, Dallas, enter day with 17 walks. That's 4th in the American League. Now he has 19 with 2 walks today. Popped up. Kurtz fighting the sun by the screening, and the first baseman will make the catch. And they're wondering if it made contact with the screening before it landed in his glove.
Well, you can see first base coach Jose Leger say, yeah, I think I heard it, but what he heard was the glove of Nick Kurtz scraping against the netting. And you see how the glove of Kurtz gets to the netting first. Pays to be 6'6", huh?
Ground ball to second, down to Anii McNeil. Throws to first, 2 gone. And out comes Mark Kotsay. Looks like he's going to go to the bullpen. He makes the point. Harris's day is finished, and it looks like Big Joel Kuhnel is going to enter the game. May 1st, join us at Sutter Health Park as the A's take on the Cleveland Guardians. Be one of the first fans through the gates to snag your exclusive Hello Kitty A's souvenir. It's a must-have for every fan looking to add some super cute flair to their A's collection. Lock in your seat now at athletics.com/tickets. Isn't that adorable?
Not as cute as your drawing. It is. There's going to be a ton of kids out at the ballpark for that day. Looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to watching Joe Kuhnel right now try to put this half inning to bed. See if the A's can't go back and grab that run posted by Murakami. Joel Kuhnel, 3 saves on the season. And by now I think fans understand that sometimes that save opportunity comes at different points in the ball game.
Herrera lines it to center. In comes Clark, and on the run, the closing speed. Able to track that down. So Kuhnel, 1 pitch and 1 out. That's all he needed. The White Sox get another at 6-4.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics.
That was on this date in 2018 in a game that lasted 5 hours and 48 minutes. It had a combined 555 pitches, 33 hits, 18 walks, and 24 strikeouts, while it ended with a Matt Olson walk-off single in inning number 14 off of Chicago White Sox right-hander James Shields.
Sometimes it takes a little longer than expected.
Oh, at the pitch clock now, that's like 3 games worth of time.
It is. Jordan Leisure on. Will Venable on the White Sox. White Sox were able to tack on a little insurance with the home run from Munetake Murakami. Both home runs to the big part of the ballpark this series.
1 laced into left center, base hit for Langeliers. See if he'll stretch it. Now he'll take a hard turnaround first as Hill moved over to get a leadoff single. That's the start the A's won. 110 off the bat.
Squared up to say the least. Just a hanging slider. Cavaliers barreled it.
Here's Kurtz, driven to right field. Tie game! Scalded. 1:15 off the bat, and Kurtz is amped up along with this West Sacramento crowd. 6-6.
That's how quickly things can change, not only personally for Nick Kurtz, but for the ball club. Just one swing. And we've got a brand new ball game here. And it just felt like, Chris, and that's why I pointed it out, it just felt like getting out of that half inning unscathed, not having any runs come across. It was going to be a matter of being able to build on that momentum. And even in the face of the Murakami homer, it still felt like you could see the Athletics thinking, we're still in this ball game. We still have an opportunity to do damage ourselves.
2-0 now to Soderstrom. Up and in, 3 balls and no strikes. The A's now going to look for their first lead of the game. They've been down pretty much the game's entirety, and now the game is back level in the 7th after a Kurtz 2-run home run, his first homer at home this year. Soderstrom stays patient, draws a 4-pitch walk. This was crushed.
Well, this right here is just melted butter by the big Amish. 95 up and in, turn and burn. Or I guess you could say, churn and burn. Get off me, ball. Just an absolute missile.
You know, he's got to be feeling good after that one. 2 hits and a walk today for Kurtz. 2 hits for Wilson, including a home run. Now he lifts it to left field. Back goes Antonacci at the wall. He caught it. Scampering back into first is Soderstrom. Wilson robbed of an extra base hit, and Antonacci, a guy who's just learning to play the position in left field, makes a terrific play.
Well, he sure did. This ball well struck off the bat of Jacob Wilson, who's hit the ball very well this afternoon. Antonacci tried to go back earlier in the ball game and bring a homer back from Jacob Wilson, just out of his reach. This one stays in the yard. And you can see Antonacci elevate, able to keep control of it.
So it's Denzel now. As Brian Hudson warms up in the bullpen for the White Sox. Proves to be a smart decision for Mark Kotsay. Now Denzel's defense is in the game. In what is a 6-6 tie for the moment.
Well, look, the ball off the bat of Pereira to end the inning was a hard hit, well struck ball that you have to make a quick decision on. Denzel made it, no problem, came in, closed the gap, got the out.
He's able to hold up. Short lead for Soderstrom, 1-1 pitch. Check swing ground ball. Murakami gloves it, throws to second, on to first. Clark beats it out. So score that a 3-6 fielder's choice as the White Sox get the lead runner. But Denzel Speed is now on the base paths.
Well, pretty good play there by Murakami when you consider it. You can see him almost think about waiting back and fielding the ball and tagging the bag, but realized I'm going to have to go ahead and get this lead runner here. Fires a strike over to second base and does get Soderstrom.
Big swing by Muncy. He had a triple last inning and later scored the fourth of now 6 A's runs. One ball and a strike. Muncy was hitless in his previous 3 games and hit a booming triple off the right field wall. On 1 pitch, hit to center. Hill on the move, still going on the track. Makes the catch, but the game is tied courtesy of Mr. Nick Kurtz. Bang! 2-run laser makes it a 6-6 game. We got a tie ball game, partner. 6-6, top of the 8th inning. Kunal against Antonacci. Made a run-saving play last inning, robbing Jacob Wilson of an extra base hit. Antonacci is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout. He was hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning. One thing that's a very big positive after a 9-2 loss where it was all Chicago, and it seemed like a bit of a heartbreak hangover after the heartbreaking loss 2 days ago. The A's offense have scratched and clawed their way back into the game and have continued to go toe-to-toe with the White Sox offense that has looked good this series.
The ability to answer back, right? I think how things unfolded here quickly for the Athletics in this ball game.
Ground ball to first. There's Kurtz.
You could understand if you saw some anxious at bats, some pressure filled at bats, unnecessarily so. But after taking one on the chin last night, you want to get back to the ballpark and you want to just delete the performance from yesterday. And a way to do that is to get after it quickly. Unfortunately, it was the White Sox who got after it quickly, and it kind of feels like, oh man, that snowball is just getting bigger. But to be able to answer back the way they have, I think slowly yet consistently, that has led us to where we're at right now here in tie ball game, 8th inning.
No balls and 2 strikes to Meindroth. 0 for 2, did lay down a sacrifice bunt in the 5-run 2nd inning. Kunal deals in the dirt. Mark Leiter Jr. beginning to warm up in the bullpen. One-two pitch. Fisted into right. Base hit. So a 1-out single for Meindroth, his first hit of the game. 3rd hit of the series, and here comes Derek Hill.
Meindroth just punching a sinker the other way. That base runner is going to bring out pitching coach Scott Emerson. This meeting on the mound is brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price. Said, hey, know who you got on a comebacker? With that sinker of yours, it's something you're going to need to take into consideration. You get that ground ball right back to you. Who are you going to right now? I think it's nice to know that you do have that weapon in your arsenal if you're Joe Kunal. Love to get a double play and just try to get this offense back in the dugout. Derek Hill, remember, grounded into the fielder's choice back in the 6th inning.
3-2-5-1 on that play. Spin it back foul. 0-1. Pitch outside, 1-1. Hill out of Elk Grove High School, right down the road. Line drive to left. In comes Soderstrom. Headlong dive, and he makes the catch.
Just a great read off the bat from Tyler Soderstrom. You can see him in the top left of your screen. As soon as it's barreled, he is crashing in. And these are one of the tougher plays to make, that headlong play. Sody doing a really good job of using that throwing hand to kind of stabilize himself. I mean, Sody's such a strong dude. Put that hand to the ground, you don't see that head jar, that neck jar. Able to stabilize himself at impact. But it's all about the first step on a play like that. Hit right at you, sinking quickly. You got to close the gap.
And it is interesting, Dallas, you think about how the game happened last night. There were a few defensive miscues. Today the defense has been called upon again, and they have done a very good job producing a clean defensive game with a few above average plays. Ground ball up the middle, long way to go. McNeil, he dives, gets to his feet, throws to first, dug out by Kurtz. They got him.
How about the green and gold flashing the leather? McNeil got a range to his left, or his right, excuse me, makes a great play. Big Amish with the pickup.
This game summary is brought to you by
Toyota.
6-6. Eric Fedde and Severino. Shorter starts than I think either would have liked. Home runs from Montgomery, Benintendi, and Murakami, but no bigger swing than Kurtz's 2-run home run to tie the game last inning. Jacob Wilson provided his second homer of the season. Has a 2-hit game today. White Sox will go to the bullpen again. 1-0. Big cut by Butler. 1-1.
Brian Hudson on now for Will Venable in place of Leisure. 9th appearance for the left-hander. Opponent's hitting .240 against the southpaw.
1-1. Line drive into the corner in right field. Butler hustling out of the box. He's into second. Will he push for third? He will. The relay throw is in time. He overslid the bag, and a very big out for Chicago.
Well, Lawrence trying to make something happen here late in the ball game. Double down the line. Pereira plays it nicely, just waits for the carom. Gets it into Meidroth, who throws a strike over to Vargas. You see the tag applied, and the overslide really wouldn't have mattered. The overslide happens because Lawrence Butler is trying to evade the tag. And that's just a credit to Pereira and Meidroth there. Pereira waiting for that ball to get to him, playing that corner carom very nicely. And Meidroth firing a strike over to Vargas, who's able to get the tag down.
Unfortunately, the Athletics.
The catcher is challenging the ball call.
Well, it looks like we're going to have a challenge here, and I don't think they're going to like it if you're the White Sox.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. The White Sox burn a
Which is
challenge.
confirmed. Chicago has 1 challenge remaining.
It's Brian Hudson, who's spent 2025 with 2 different teams, the Brewers and then these White Sox. He's claimed off waivers on August 3rd of last year by the White Sox. Made 4 appearances for Chicago.
Well, this inning started quickly. Last one ended with a flash of the leather on both ends. McNeil laying out to his right side.
1-2, Wins sprays it foul.
And then Nick Kurtz able to go out and dig out the short hop. I mean, just a great play by Mac. Gets up from a knee. Gets it over just in time. We've watched some really good defensive efforts here in these first 2 ball games. This one a really important one from McNeil and from Kurtz on the back end. That is not an easy dig for Kurtz.
Wins is fighting. One batter before that, inning-ending diving play by McNeil. Soderstrom made a headlong dive to rob a hit. 1-2, ground ball foul. High fastball, strike 3 on Wins. 2 away.
Hudson from that low slot just kind of running that fastball up top. It just continues to climb.
McNeil hitless today, does have a sacrifice fly. Takes outside. 1-0. Ball and a strike to McNeil. Tips it into McGuire's glove. Spits on it away. White Sox have 1 challenge remaining. The A's have none. Two. And protects the plate there.
And you hate to think that there could be a momentum shift here with the White Sox able to nab Butler at third base. I know the folks at home are saying first or third out at third base. That's great. You understand that Lawrence in that spot trying to make something happen.
3 balls and 2 strikes. McNeil has worked it full.
But you'd also like to think with the way that the momentum had shifted, given the opportunity of who was coming up, there'd be a chance to get Lawrence across.
3-2. Flares it foul into the seats. Well, the White Sox to come up in the top of the 9th would be Benintendi, Murakami, and Vargas for a 5th time. It's an interesting rally cap. I like it. 3-2 to McNeil. He takes outside and extends the inning further for Langoliers.
What a quality at bat there from Jeff McNeil. We're going to have a runner for Jeff McNeil. It's going to be Zach Geloff. Should Langoliers be able to find a gap here, Zach Geloff with enough speed to be able to score from first base. Just a great veteran at bat there by McNeil to keep this inning going.
Hudson to the plate. Langoliers will dump it into right field, a base hit. Geloff will head to third and get there. First and third, 2 outs, and Kurtz, the bringer of the tie, is up again.
Langoliers just fighting this one off. And with 2 outs, Zach Geloff over to third base, no problem. Now the White Sox, they want to make sure they got a game plan here against Nick Kurtz. Time now for our play of the day presented by your California Ford dealers. See ya. A drive by Nick Kurtz would tie the ball game. And now an opportunity to put the A's on top. And it just feels like, especially with Kurtzy, once he starts to roll, he just starts to pick up steam.
2 hits today. Does he have another? He'll take outside, 1-0. His last 3 plate appearances, walk, single, 2-run home run. He's built it up. Geloff at third, Langoliers at first, in a tie game at 6-6.
And remember, it was these 2 lefties, Nick Kurtz and Tyler Soderstrom, who, upon entering the game, Sean Newcomb surrendered back-to-back hits to both of these left-handers.
Two and one. Infield playing Kurtz to pull Geloff, taking a comfortable lead. 3 balls and a strike. Now you run the risk of loading the bases for Soderstrom.
Yeah, Will Venable says we're not even going to waste our time here. Just send the big fella down to first. We'll take our chances against Tyler Soderstrom, who I can promise you has taken that personally.
I was just about to say, it's 2 very bad options for the White Sox.
Well, it's the lesser of 2 evils, if that's how you want to look at it. And I don't know that I'd want to pick on either one.
Pulls the trigger on the first pitch. 0-1. Tyler has not been stranger to a first pitch swing every once in a while. Does have an RBI single in this game back in the 5th. That scored the 3rd of now 6 A's runs. There's a little bloop single in the left center. Again, takes a rip and fouls it away. He's behind at 0-2. He will have to protect. 8 for 24 with runners in scoring position this year. That was a good read. crowd is loud today. 1-2 pitch. Soderstrom won't get there. Gets a piece hung on by McGuire. The A's strand 3 runners, and it's a tie game going into the ninth.
More hybrid models than any other brand. Toyota, let's go places.
6-6, top of the 9th inning. Got a tie game. A's have played in quite a few close ones to start the season. It's Mark Leiter Jr. in the 9th.
Yeah, we saw Mark Leiter Jr. a few days ago against Texas. He ran into Jake Berger, who had himself a series, but I think we've seen Mark Leiter Jr. come in and do a decent job, especially against some of these southpaws he's ran into. He'll start off with Andrew Benintendi. Zach Geloff now in the place of Jeff McNeil. Remember, he pinch ran for McNeil after he worked that walk, that 2-out walk.
Looping curveball swung through and missed. Grounded foul. Nice hops by Jose Lejer at first. One-two. Struck him out. Good start for Leiter Jr. Got him on the splitter, one away.
That's that equalizer. A little bit of tail away from the left-hander, but just doesn't stay up long enough. Benintendi runs out of bat.
Well, it's been hard to quiet Munetaka Murakami. 4 hits. 2 of those 4 being home runs this series. He's 1 for 2 today with a solo home run. His 2nd of the series and his 7th of the year.
Well, it looks like
The batter is challenging the strike call.
Murakami thought about it for just a second, said, you know what, I don't know that I like that call. And I think Murakami might be onto something here. Yep.
Call's overturned. Chicago has 1 challenge remaining.
He's ahead at 2-0. He's not afraid to swing big on a pitch in the zone. That is a strike. He'll challenge again.
Batter's challenging the strike call.
Well, I think Murakami right now dialed in. I'm not sure this is a strike either. And on back-to-back pitches, Murakami has continued to increase the leverage in his at-bat for himself.
And it's a walk, so Murakami is aboard. And it's Miguel Vargas, who has grounded into 2 double plays today.
And moments like that are, I think, what fans take away from the ABS system. Is it looks like Murakami's going to be lifted for a pinch runner. That's going to be Luis Angel Acuna, now running at first base. But if you're a White Sox fan and you see those calls go against a guy who has the ability to change the game with 1 swing like that, you're probably not too excited about it, nor would the White Sox be.
Good lead for Acuna. Kurtz holds him on. Vargas pops it up high in the air. Geloff at second base has it. 2 gone. Leiter turns focus to Colson Montgomery, who also, like Benintendi and Murakami, has a home run in this game. Both bullpens are up.
just continuing to inch his way off. Take you back to the second inning. Colson Montgomery got a cutter from Severino that he liked. Dropped that one out on the berm.
Everson Pereira waits patiently on deck. Has 2 bloop doubles in this game, if you can believe it. Leiter steps off. Should be his second disengagement.
See if that does much for Acuna here.
He's taking a bigger lead. He's taken off. Goes all the way to the backstop. Diving in safely is Acuna. Would have been a tough play to get him with his speed. And now he's in scoring position. It's a 3-ball, no strike count to Montgomery.
What was that second disengagement spoken for?
An intentional walk is issued.
Acuna able to get up to second. Now they'll just give Montgomery the free pass. Take their chances against Pereira.
Out comes Mark Kotsay. And he will go to the bullpen. Jack Perkins. 2 on and 2 out in a 6-6 game.
Be one of the first fans in the ballpark and score a Stomper plush hat. It's the perfect way to show team pride and rep your favorite mascot all season long. You can lock in your seat right now at athletics.com/promotions. Well, we have got a tight one here. White Sox with a couple base runners. Here in the top of the 9th, 2 outs. Mark Leiter has given way to right-hander Jack Perkins. It'll be the 4th appearance for Jack Perkins. Mark Kotsay opting right now, I think maybe for just a little more velocity. And it's Pereira, who you pointed out a little earlier, Chris, a couple doubles under his belt this afternoon. Neither hit very hard at all. So maybe an opportunity for Perkins to tie him up.
Best thing that Wins can do is try and dress up a pitch at this point. No challenges remaining for the A's. 1 remaining for the White Sox. 2 on, 2 out. 1-0 count to Pereira, who's 2 for 4. That doesn't do either. 2-0.
Well, that's one of those. It's tough because probably a strike. It's just a missed spot per se.
3 balls and no strikes. Last thing you need out of a guy in the bullpen, especially in a tight spot like this, is to come out and walk the first hitter he sees, especially with the lefty waiting on deck in Antonacci. There's a strike, 3-1. One pitch is up. A walk. Now the bases are juiced for Antonacci.
Antonacci 1 for 10 against right-handers coming into this at bat. Remember, he got drilled back in the 3rd inning by Severino.
Got nowhere to put him. First pitch is a strike on a breaking ball. 0-1. Acuna at 3rd, Montgomery at 2nd, Pereira at 1st. Outfield is in a bit. Weakly grounded up the first base side. Tough play for Kurtz. Gloves, tags the diving Antonacci, and they get out of it. The glove work continues for Kurtz. Had to make a split-second decision and is able to execute the final out of the top of the ninth. It stays a 6-6 game.
This afternoon, I think late in the ballgame, the defense for the green and gold has showed up. Nick Kurtz with a shovel pass. Sodi closing the gap quickly, laying out headlong, making a great play. And how about McNeil? Ranging to his right, pops up, makes a throw from his knee, and then Nick Kurtz to end the top of the ninth. Flashing even more leather. Young man's had a great ball game this afternoon. He's found himself all over the bases. He's got a couple knocks, a couple walks, a big knock, I should say, but a glovesmith on full display. And the White Sox now opting for right-hander Seranthony Dominguez. Been a little bit of a bumpy start to the 2026 campaign for Mr. Dominguez. 3 saves under his belt. This will be his 8th appearance for Will Venable and the Pale Hose.
First pitch popped up, and it will tail foul. A few defensive changes. Colson Montgomery moves to third base. Luis Angel Acuna is now at shortstop, and Vargas takes over at first. Ball and a strike. Seranthony Dominguez signed a 2-year, $20 million contract with the White Sox at the end of January of this year. Some other bullpen ad, along with Newcomb. Called strike, 1-2.
Plugged in Jordan Hicks.
Wilson said he tipped it. Chad Whitson is calling him out.
I think Jay Willie was arguing that he may have caught some of that baseball. And it doesn't look like he did. I think just maybe trying to sell Chad Whitson on the fact that the reason that ball was dropped was because there was contact made. There indeed was not.
Two balls and no strikes. Three and 0. Denzel can get aboard. His speed could likely score from first if Muncy can find a gap. Four-pitch walk, and that will set up Max Muncy.
Well, I think Max Muncy is a guy who hunts these kind of moments. I believe it's just a matter of time before we start to see Muncy show up in these spots and come through. He's going to take a little time here to settle in. He'll take his time out before the first pitch of the at-bat. I mentioned the adjustment we had seen from Max Muncy, something that I noticed at the beginning of the game.
First pitch popped up. McGuire will keep his mask on and make the catch. 2 away. So a quick at-bat for Muncy, and Dominguez gets the second out he was looking for. But Butler did tuck one into the corner last inning, tried to stretch it for a triple, and ended up being out on the relay throw from Meidroth. Clark breaking for second. Butler will take, throw down to second. Not close. Stolen base. And now a single may be enough to do the job.
And an opportunity for Lawrence Butler to be the hero here. Great jump by Denzel Clark to put himself in scoring position. They're going to keep that line moving. Give Lawrence Butler first base, and that'll bring up backstop Austin Wynns. So you've seen both managers kind of pick their spots and look for their matchups here tonight, or this afternoon, I should say. Will Venable here looking to take Sir Anthony Dominguez against Austin Wynns.
Clark at second, Butler at first. Clark represents the winning run here in the bottom of the ninth. Wins 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. In the dirt, blocked well by McGuire.
Pretty good job by McGuire to body that up.
Wait back on the breaking ball, take it for strike one. Well, you have about the best two speed options on the base paths for the A's in Clark and Butler. Low and outside, 2-1.
Well, and that block from McGuire coming into play. You get a runner on third base, Dominguez. Things starting to tighten up a bit, and you might not have the confidence to bury one of those sliders.
Clark's going to break for third, Butler to second. Wynns fouls it off. Very big jumps for both. There would not have been a play at all at either base.
Now Dominguez all but just dismissing the base runners.
Dominguez will fake to second. Meidroth was not covering. Denzel certainly taking his liberties off the second base bag.
Well, if you've got his attention, that's almost just as good as getting over to third base right now. Losing focus at home plate, not what you want to see for the White Sox.
2-2, underneath it, foul.
I mean, in a spot like this, your focus and attention has to be on how you're getting Austin Wynns out, not terribly concerned with the runners on first and second. You've got 2 outs, you've got 2 strikes.
Now time is called. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on for the A's in a 6-6 game. Bottom of the ninth inning, game 2 of this series. Dominguez against Austin Wynns. 2-2 in the air to left. Antonacci coming in. Who's going to get it? It's Antonacci to make the catch. And we will go to extra innings, tied at 6-6.
As our nonprofit partner of the game, this social enterprise employs local youth, helping them earn a paycheck while learning essential career skills. Through their Youth Connect program, they bridge the gap between foster care and a successful future. Find out how they're launching young careers at juma.org.
So we're into the 10th inning, Dallas now. Sam Antonacci will be the designated runner at second base. It's 6-6 the score. It is Meidroth, likely Edgar Caro who's waiting on deck, and possibly Reese McGuire in the hole, but could be plenty of changes still left to make for Will Venable. Meidroth is a threat to bunt.
He is. Something we always talk a lot about is what the visiting team is trying to do, and if that's push just one across, obviously you'd like to score as many runs as you can, but typically you feel good about it if it's 2 or more.
From the stretch, he'll swing away, take up 1 ball and no strikes.
Now, something to remember, both teams are now given their challenge, so each team has 1 ABS challenge.
Down low, 2 balls and no strikes.
That came into play in the 9th inning when Murakami said no to 2 pitches in a row. That would eventually result in a walk.
Swing and a miss. As we talk about a lot, next innings, that first out might be the most important out that you get. Breaking ball away, 3 balls and a strike. Called strike. He's going to challenge.
Meidroth, I'm not sure he's going to like this. That ball looked pretty good. Remember, Jack Perkins got some life on that fastball coming.
And he burns the challenge in the 10th. ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile.
Well, and I think you can understand why in that spot, Chris, because that's the difference between him now staring down a 3-2 count or the White Sox having 2 on, nobody out.
Three and 2, fouled away.
And I think that's a great way for the White Sox to try to be able to create that leverage that we're talking about and give yourself an opportunity to push 2 across. Not telling you that Hiro's going to come up and put a bunt down and try to get runners to 2nd and 3rd.
And Wins is going to challenge at the bottom of the zone.
Catcher's challenging the ball.
And I'm going to like this one. I mean, I feel like this was borderline at best, probably leaning towards a strike.
Oh, yeah.
Punch and
And
tickets.
Wins, who had trouble earlier in the game challenging twice, gets the biggest challenge of the game. Perkins gets a very big first out on the strikeout. And Edgar Quero will come up.
And I don't know that there's been a bigger example in a single at-bat of how impactful the ABS can be in changing the course, potential outcome of a baseball game.
Oh, Quero gets hit on a back foot breaking ball, and that's exactly where it clipped him.
Now back number 30, Reese McGuire.
Oh, just watch that back left foot. Almost right off the ankle area.
4-hit batsman today by A's pitching to the White Sox.
But as I said, I don't think you can overstate how important those challenges were. How about this, Kotz? You a big fan? I'd say so.
It's great to see that energy and fire from the skipper.
Oh, that's a fire that burns about as hot as any fire burning in the big leagues. I'll tell you that. It's like the White Sox going to lift Quero now. Murray on to pinch run. Murray at first, Antonacci at second, 1 out. As Jack Perkins stares down Reese McGuire.
Strike 1. He doesn't have a challenge, trying to tap it.
Yep. Flashbacks of Chris Webber on the baseline. Too soon?
Pickoff attempt to second, no one home. Wilson able to block it. Little flare to center. No, it's caught by Wilson. Oh, no, he drops it, but it will be an infield fly.
I see you working, Jay Willie. I appreciate every bit of that. Jacob Wilson slow playing it as if the sun were playing a bigger factor than it may have. See Jacob starting to shade his eyes like he can't see it.
Second base umpire Brian Walsh, right as it's landing in his glove, points up for the infield fly. I think he knew what Jacob was trying to do.
Well, it's a tough play that you don't have a ton of time to call as an umpire.
Perkins against Benintendi. One hopper to second. Geloff is there, and they have a scoreless top of the 10th. 6-6 the game remains. Some strategy, some successful ABS challenges, and Jack Perkins is amped up. A's trying to win a ball game in the bottom of the 10th. Work by Jack Perkins. The defense was there. An ABS challenge was favorable for the A's. Jordan Hicks is in the game now, and the A's have a chance to win it here in the bottom of the 10th inning against the hard-throwing right-hander. Spent time in St. Louis, San Francisco, Boston, and now the White Sox.
Well, here's how we got here. Jay Willie lift off. And the Athletics weren't done there. Sodi stepped up in a big spot against Sean Newcomb left on left and was able to deliver right after Nick Kurtz did so. And Kurtzy, later in the ball game, just pile drives one into the right corner. And that knotted things up. Remember, after the McNeil walk, Zach Geloff was brought in to pinch run now at second base, and he will lead things off.
He shows bunt, but some chin music up and in, 1-0.
A's just need one to win. Darell Hernandez in now to run. Remember, it was Austin Wynns who ended the inning with a fly ball to left field.
He shows again, lays it down, Hicks to get it, gloves, he doesn't have a play to first! Geloff beats it out! Was indecisive, and that half second was enough for Geloff to beat it out.
And I think Jordan Hicks, maybe a little wishful thinking, thought he was going to have a play here over at third base. Did not field it cleanly, was not going to have a shot. And with Geloff's ability to run and get down the line as quickly as he did, he had no shot at first base either. And I think Will Venable going to bring in an extra infielder. I think Luis Angel Acuna coming in from center field. And the White Sox opting to deploy a 5-man infield. Good job by Geloff after getting the tower buzz to stick his face right back in there in the next pitch, get the bunt down. And I've said it time and time again, you come into the ball game late like Jordan Hicks has, you have to be able to defend yourself. Not able to do so. You got to be able to control the running game. That really at this point is a moot point. And you got to spin the breaking ball for strikes, which frankly has been a bit of an issue for Jordan Hicks as well. So we'll see if he can check one of those boxes here. But you see Will Venable, 3 men on the left side of second base right now.
Hernandez at third, Geloff at first. 5-man infield, first pitch down low. Langeliers takes 1 ball and no strikes. Shea's 2 for 4. Has hits in the 7th and 8th. out deep enough, wins it. In on his hands, he fouls it back. With a high velocity pitcher like Hicks, you can't guarantee anything.
Well, not only the high velocity, but the movement. I think Will Venable's hoping to keep guys on the ground and hopefully, for the White Sox sake, stay away from that sac fly.
1-1, tagged back foul. Best part of the order for the A's is up. It's another thing to take into account. Spins it away. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I'll tell you right now, for whatever reason that Shea Langeliers isn't able to get this job done, they're going to have to see if Will Venable wants to pick on Nick Kurtz or eventually load the bases.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, if Langeliers walks, you don't have the decision to intentionally walk Kurtz. You gotta face him. A's fans on their feet. 3-2, ground ball, diving play, nice play by the shortstop in Murray to get the first out. Geloff moves to second, but the White Sox get a big first out.
Well, that is a big first out, and it's a great play by Murray. But I want to give credit to Hernandez on third base, who I think in the state of this ball game, you could feel maybe a little aggression over there, wanting to make something happen, but is quick enough to get back to third base. And kind of like we thought, Nick Kurtz, they're not even going to mess with. They're going to try to take their chances against Tyler Soderstrom. You see Murray directing traffic, putting Acuna on the right side of second.
First pitch swing from Soderstrom, 0-1. And A on every base. Hernandez at third, Geloff at second, Kurtz at first. Mark Kotsay is now going to come out and talk to Chad Whitson.
Well, I think when Mark Kotsay is talking about their defensive alignment.
Stretch. 0-1, takes it high. 1 ball and 1 strike. You have Wilson waiting on deck. Up and away, 2-1.
Something to consider. Ball on the right side. Have the White Sox communicated based on where they're at positioning wise, who's going to be able to get to second base and turn a potential double play if they don't have an opportunity to come home with the baseball.
3 balls and a strike.
And that very well may not matter.
A's fans are riled up. Hicks's pitch is grounded foul, and there will be a 3-2 offering to Soderstrom. In the air, popped up, shallow right. Who's gonna get it? In comes Pereira. He makes the catch for the second out.
Oh my. Well, with the velocity of Jordan Hicks, able to get up and under the hands of Tyler Soderstrom, who couldn't quite get this out deep enough. Now with 2 outs, the White Sox are going to be able to go back to a traditional defensive setup. This ball game ain't over. Jacob Wilson swung the bat wild this afternoon.
Foul ball, 0-1.
Wouldn't mind going home the hero today.
Think about the momentum shift this would create, though, if Hicks is able to get out of the inning.
Oh, you're going to watch this White Sox dugout erupt as well as the players on the field.
Outside, sprawling out to get it, McGuire. He has to protect as Hernandez is on third.
Again, you're dealing with 98, 99. McGuire just trying to get some leather on it.
1-1, ground ball to short. Flip to second, and miraculously, the White Sox get out of the inning unscathed. We go to the 11th at 6-6. After the bottom of the 10th, there were 2 on and nobody out. First and third with nobody out, and they are unable to cash in the winning run.
Yeah, just an unfortunate series of events for the Athletics. You feel like sitting on first and third, nobody out, you got a pretty good chance to put this ball game to bed. Instead, it was the White Sox who were able to bear down. Shea Langeliers, remember, in that DH spot, will now move behind the plate. That DH is gone, and that's something to remember for next inning when the Athletics come to the plate.
Luis Angel Acuna shows bunt, lays one foul down the third base line. Well, Murakami is out of the game as well. Luis Angel Acuna came in, had to wear a few different gloves in the bottom of the 10th. Went from his outfield glove to his infield glove, back to his outfield glove, and he's up. Let's see if he shows the hands again. A 1, he will. Tries to lay it down. Did he go? Yes, he did. 0-2.
Oh, he committed. Now the decision is, do we have Acuna try to stick his face in there one more time and get this down, or do we let him fire away? He's bunting.
0-2, he'll swing away. It's in the dirt, blocked by Langeliers. Challenges refill each extra inning. One, 2. That didn't go for a strike behind the plate.
Well, it may have well been close pitch. Served into center field, a base hit, late break for Benintendi. He'll stop at third. Now first and third and nobody out. Vargas is coming up.
Now batting number 20, Gil Vargas.
A slider that just sits up enough. Cody just throwing the bat at it, dumps it in front of Denzel.
Swing and a miss.
Now it's the White Sox who sit here in the top of the 11th with runners on first and third, nobody out.
The way the defense is positioned, Dallas, looks like they're willing to take 2 outs for the price of 1 run. In the air, shallow right. Butler fighting the sun. Geloff calling everyone off. It goes into the seats. And it's 0-2.
Well, you could hear Geloff calling for it. He was probably going to have the best look at it.
Pickoff attempt at first. No tag from Kurtz. Able to foul it back. Well, of the 6 runs in this game for the White Sox, the A's bullpen has only been responsible for 1 of those. They've looked better today. 0-2 inside. Someone else stirring in the bullpen for the A's.
It's Scott Barlow moving around now for the Athletics.
One-two pitch. Slider. Outside.
There's Barlow.
Two and two, up and in. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Acuna's going. It won't matter. It's outside. Bases loaded. Nobody out. Montgomery coming up. Here comes Scott Emerson.
Well, Emo right now just out to double check and make sure they know how they want to try to attack Montgomery. Montgomery took a big swing way back in the 2nd inning. But I think with Perkins and his ability to step on the gas pedal with the fastball, if you decide to try to go backwards here, I think it's just emphasizing location. You don't want to leave something inner third to Montgomery early. That's exactly why they go with that first pitch changeup here. One, if you can catch Montgomery hunting a fastball, you catch him out front. Maybe you get him to tap something back to you.
Oh, that headline leers in the backswing. He has to wear that one. Ouch.
Yeah, right there, caught Shea right on the back of the helmet. And I believe Montgomery might have checked on Shea. I want to believe he did.
Tapped back foul. 1-2. Time is given to Colson Montgomery. The 1-2 from Perkins. Struck him out up top. There's out number 1.
That's a great at bat by Jack Perkins. Just a great job of moving the baseball around, speeding them up, slowing them down. I mean, just a phenomenal job of using his entire repertoire. What a beautiful job by Jack Perkins.
Perkins against Pereira now. Swing and a miss. High cutter. See how he sequences this one, DB. It's a four-seam fastball, 0-2. Now he's ahead in the count. Where do you go here?
Well, he's got the opportunity now. If he wants, he could spin one away from Pereira. He could go right back to that fastball and elevate. You've got some room to play here, 0-2.
0-2 pitch. Check swing on a slider in the dirt.
Shea Langoliers able to get up and make a backhand stab at that. I promise you it's not this easy, folks.
Especially coming into the game cold as the DH. 1-2. Thank goodness they're screening there, or else it would have been a hard hit projectile coming straight from my face.
Why don't we do some help?
We got to lock in, okay? One-two pitch inside. There's the changeup. 2-2.
Well, let's see if Perk took anything away from the take there.
Pitch number 40 from Perkins. 2-2. Got him. Riding with that high fastball. 2 are away.
Perk going right back to the petrol. 96. Up and out of the zone. And Pereira just cannot catch up.
First pitch to Antonacci, strike one. From the stretch, 0-1 pitch. Fouled away into the A's dugout. Perkins 1 strike away from getting out of a very uncomfortable situation.
Well, that fastball is playing right now for Jack Perkins.
A's fans back on their feet in this 11th inning. Oh, 2. Fought off.
And I love it. Back to the heater. I mean, nothing about Antonacci right now is telling you that he's on the fastball.
The next 0-2 from Perkins. Popped up to third base. Muncie's got it. And Perkins again delivers in the extras. Reliever.
Jack Perkins dialed up the heat and dialed in. It's time to go win a ball game, folks.
Got out of a bases loaded, no out situation without any damage against the A's, keeping the game at 6-6. And the A's have yet another chance to try and win a ball game here in extras.
And right now it's going to come against right-hander Lucas Sims. And it'll be Jacob Wilson starting the inning as the runner on second base. Denzel Clark, who came into the ball game in the 6th inning,
after Ibanez had hit for Cortez, who started the game. And it's Muncy and Butler after Denzel.
Denzel shows, and they're going to say he went around.
Well, probably a pretty good pitch either way. And yeah, I think Denzel probably offered.
Oh, 0-1 to Clark. He'll swing away this time and take up high. 1-1. Getting the sign from Bobby Crosby at third base. Wilson at second as the designated runner. He'll show again, this time pull back. Almost a throw into second, but Wilson dives back in without a throw. Two balls and a strike to Denzel. He shows once more. He'll lay it down up the third base side. One play to first, and Wilson 90 feet away from scoring the winning run. Denzel does his job and passes the baton to Max Muncy.
So now what you have to think about is the decision for Will Venable, understanding that the A's have lost the designated hitter, which means there will be a pitcher hitting. As you see the play there to get Clark at third. And Luis Angel Acuna coming back in from center field. But it'll be Max Muncy at the plate right now. Lawrence Butler on deck. And from what I'm seeing, it looks like JT Ginn may have a helmet on with a bat in his hand.
Infield in.
And this is the interesting part about this is, if you think about it, Will Venable could opt to walk Max Muncy. Will Venable could then opt to walk Lawrence Butler and then have a pitcher at the plate with one out. You would like your odds of being able to take care of the pitcher who probably hadn't hit since high school, and that's JT Ginn sitting right there. And if you're able to get rid of JT Ginn, that's now 2 outs. Ensure you would turn the lineup back over to Zach Geloff.
1-1. Line drive to left. Antonacci makes the catch. Wilson coming home. The throw to the plate. Wilson is safe. Save. The A's win. Max Muncy delivers a game-winning sacrifice fly. 7-6.
Well, after appealing at third base whether or not Jacob Wilson left early, that appeal is negated, and that is the ball game. I talked about Max Muncy being a player who hunts these moments, wants the spotlight. He had an opportunity earlier in the ball game, wasn't able to capitalize, but it came back around again, and Muncy did not miss.
All you needed was a ball just deep enough. Antonacci's throw was not bad. Wilson able to dive in safely. The A's battled. Their first lead of the game is due to the final swing of the game. And Max Muncy was able to stay on it and has a big moment for the A's as they even up this series at 1 apiece.
Well, he got a pitch that he was able to wait on, a slider that he could elevate. Antonacci having to come in and make a play on that, had some momentum coming behind the baseball. It's a good slide by Jacob Wilson to the infield side of home plate, got that right hand in under the tag, and the green and gold are walking.
Exactly what the A's needed after a 9-2 loss last night. The White Sox, credit where it's due, played the A's very well. It was a war of attrition, but the A's win the battle on the Sacramento Saturday, and the fans are going to go home Series finale, Noah Schultz making his second career big league start, the lefty against the other lefty, Jeffrey Springs, who has been sensational. The A's hoping for a series win before heading on to Seattle. Well, it's been so much fun, but stay tuned, folks. A's Cast with Chris Townsend and Steve Sachs on NBC Sports, presented by Toyota, starts right now.